Hey guys, today I am finally uploading the video that took me days to edit and film. I'm really sorry it took me this long, but I wanted to try out something new, and I did, however, take too many breaks along the way. I hope that you're not mad at me too much about that. Regardless, though, I am going to disappear. Specifically, I'm going to disappear in the video, but I will still be continuing on like this as the voiceover to tell you how to do this stuff. So without further ado, let's do it. As you can tell a little bit, I started off I basically used the same audio that I basically used the same audio from the camera I used. I didn't use an external microphone. I hope that's fine. I did try to make it sound like it's fine, mainly because it's background noise, but I tried to minimize the loudest parts. As you can see here, right now what I'm doing is just trying to make a very put together preview of what it should look like when you get done. I tried doing what other cooking channels do, which is make everything look great, while mine looks similar but not the same way. Now over here, I'm adding 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. And as you can hear right now, I had to wash my hands because I forgot to do that before dealing with food. Never make that mistake. When you're working at a restaurant, you could get fired if you spread an illness. The next thing I'm doing right here is adding 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. Now that's no 3/4, but I'm using 1/4 to get the best measurement, especially since I'm too lazy to get a separate measurement cup for that. I should have said measuring cup for that, because that's what it actually is instead of measurement. And I'm sorry for that if it's too loud for you. In this, yeah, I know. True that, though. Right here I'm actually adding 3 eggs. Although one of them just happened to be twins. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing is first give you a few sounds, I guess. And then I'm wiping the counter because yo, you finished? I'm talking. Yeah, I was wiping the counter because I got egg yolks on it. And then, even if you don't wash your hands before you deal with food, never not wash your hands after dealing with eggs. And the next thing I'm going to add is, well, I don't know. I edited yeah, I thought so. I'm going to be adding 1/2 cup of milk. And this is the full cup, I'm assuming. It better be. Really nice. Okay, and then we're doing this. Literally, this is just me recording the audio as I rewatch on playback what I edited for the video portion. if I added the vanilla extract, it would be 1 teaspoon. And for the salt, you only need a very tiny bit, as I just demonstrated. Oh, and then the fun part, to mix. Which is going to sound a little weird as I listen back to it. Of course, I know some of you all will definitely like it. Or at least I hope you guys will. The main part I had to work hard to incorporate for this was the sugar, because there was more sugar than other ingredients in there. It was essentially the thickest part of it, which made it difficult. And then I did that because I was trying to make sure I fully beat the egg yolks. And it's pure. You can stop mixing now. Or not. Thank you. As you can hear, it's much, much quieter. It's because of how loud this part was. And over here, I'm adding a cup and a quarter. I'm really hoping that's the quarter cup. I'm counting all that, making sure I got, that's the fourth. I'm gonna make sure I got the fifth. Yes, you did it. Good job. Now the fun part after that is getting it all through the sifter, which takes a really long time. Of course, you'll see in a minute that it makes a difference when you do it a different way. Don't you worry, I'll just point out when that part happens. Essentially, I got most of it out. I'm not sure about all of it, but I did get a lot of it back into the bowl. I feel like this is something I should not let into my video too much, but I think it's quiet enough. Of course, when I say that, it's a danger, in a way. And then the folding process of the wet and the flour. That's what I had to be extra careful of when dealing with such a tiny bowl. Yeah, it was really hard. Didn't think it would take this long. And again, I am looking back at the footage as I'm saying all this. Then again, that's how every YouTuber does it, whether ASMR or normal talking, or even an educational video, such as a tutorial. Hope this isn't too loud, it's soft speaking. I'm trying to contain myself. Although I certainly am not containing myself in the video. Oh, goodness gracious. There I go, trying to destroy the clumps. And then I'm wiping it. Yeah, I know, editor. I get it. I think that's the point with me wiping all of that flour. Certainly make a mess of things in the kitchen, although I hope that stops if I ever get a job at a restaurant. Hope this part wasn't too loud for you guys. I feel like it might be if you wear earbuds before watching this, or when watching this. Essentially, I do not recommend you wear earbuds when you watch this one, because it's really loud. I mean, I don't even know how well I'm going to be able to hear myself when I add this audio to this video. This is what I was talking about. A different way that was more efficient. I get it. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Sorry. Basically, that part I was talking about. Okay, I'm starting to forget the ingredients. For the cocoa powder, I added half a cup. I think I used a quarter cup if that's the case. And then I added 1 teaspoon of baking powder, using the half teaspoon measurement, which is why I used 2 of it. Oh my. This makes me... How slow. Literally how slow I'm doing it. Essentially, the very slow speed I'm doing this makes me think that it will... I don't know why, but I feel like it'll turn people on when they go to watch this. That's what scares me the most when I post this. It's about time it all mixed into an actual batter. I was wondering when it would look liquid instead of dry. Now I'm just gonna stop talking for a little bit of ASMR pleasure. And then I got some plastic wrap to put on there. Sealed it by sticking the plastic to the bowl, which is very clean by the way, and put in the fridge. Now I'm going to add some cream. Okay, I'm doing what I should have done the first time, which was washing my hands before I do anything, which I must say is extremely important. You make sure it's as flawless as possible in your hands, otherwise magnified. And now I'm doing some loud tapping. I hope it's not too loud for you guys. I know for sure that in the past I've done it that loud. I think I've dialed it down a good bit. Yeah, and then we go with the cream cheese. I have 2 packs. They add up to 16 fluid ounces. I think fluid ounces. I hope fluid ounces because, well, yeah. And then at a really low volume, I'm turning on the mixer. Seriously, do not watch this with earbuds. And then I'm adding about a half cup of milk. Oh, and by the way, the reason why I didn't just add these measurements of ingredients all at once is because I was essentially filming this, an experiment. I was essentially experimenting while I was filming this. I was trying to see if I would get something that, if I would get a consistency of what I was making that had decent potential, if that makes sense. And right here, as you can see, I'm trying to get the stuff off the whisk with the spatula. forgot exactly what kind of spatula it was. I knew at some point because of culinary arts. Although that was junior year of high school, I'm already graduated and waiting to get hired. I have been applying a lot. And as you can see right here, it's starting to whisk beautifully. I know, okay? Shut up with them sticks. And I'm gonna stop because I just don't know when it'll stop. I'm about to add something, I think. Right here. Yeah, I hope that's not too loud. Oh dear, I'm really scared about if you guys will call it too loud or not. Yeah, and then of course I had to film opening it for sounds. I guess this is just my... Okay, I guess I'm doing this. Actually, I was the one who made all these different shots. Like, I worked harder than usual just to get these good shots. Like, you saw at the beginning that it looked decent when I was trying to present the final product and how to make it. I mean, well, yeah, I'll just be quiet for a second. See if you guys can get the tingles from this stuff. What I just scooped into that measuring cup is literally a cup's worth of peanut butter, and that's what you're going to add right here. Also, back to the brown stuff, the batter from before making this part, that was a chocolate cake, as you could tell from the intro. That was the cake part, and this is the peanut butter cheesecake part. Oh my. Usually I'll be feeling so much intimate pleasure whenever I'm listening to other people do it, and yet when I do it, I think, why? Actually, that's a normal feeling. I certainly think that's how most people feel about it. And yeah, I really should have gotten a separate spoon to get that off. Real nice leaving that much on the measuring cup. And then I'll mix it up like this. I specifically use the whisk attachment, if that helps you in any way. And then I scrape this part. I scrape the edges of the bowl to make sure it doesn't stay in that for too long, otherwise it won't incorporate. And I realized at about this point that I needed something different. Let's say perhaps I did this, because I did do this, and then I attached that instead. And boy, did it work. scraped once more. And mixed once more. Seriously, it is very important that you scrape the edges of the bowl. Without doing so, you leave ingredients left unincorporated and just being ignored by the paddle. And then over here, I added about a cup and a half of powdered sugar. Why is it so loud like that? Like I said before, I was experimenting while I was filming this, which is why you only saw me add 1 cup instead of 1.5 cups. And as you can see, it's starting to look more creamy than usual, which is what the powdered sugar will do. And then scrape once more, taking a really long fork apparently. Scrape the paddle. Wait, are you gonna do the paddle? Thank you. And then the last half cup. And then good mixing again. Yeah, you can see my reflection. You can see my camera's reflection. And then over here I'm using some olive oil to grease the cake pans before I pour in the cake batter. Doing so prevents the cake from sticking too much to the pan. And it really doesn't matter how you grease it. When we say grease, we just mean that you add. And when I say grease, I don't mean you try to. When I say grease, I just mean that you add a grease source such as butter, shortening. I didn't know if there's another word for it, or another word besides shortening. Butter, shortening, margarine, oil, non-stick spray, anything that is essentially greasy and is filled with loads of lipids and fat. It is quite essential. If you do this with water, it will have a much worse effect. So make sure you always do it with a form of grease. And also I left out the part of flouring because I've never had to do that. Greasing it has always worked for me. I don't know why. I know why people use flour. It's to create a barrier between the oil and the cake. But I don't know why that would be, why you would need a barrier. And then I'm crinkling that up just to throw it away. And oh my, I forgot about what this looks like. Okay, I'm essentially taking about half of it right about now, and then pouring that into the pan. that was an interesting slap. It kind of sounds weird. And then I spread it around, which was kind of hard because it was sticking too much to the oil. Maybe I put in too much, I don't know. It seemed fine when it came out of the oven. In fact, it seemed less burnt than usual. Since the last time I used this recipe, when I used as much oil as I did. I don't even know if it was the oil or if I just used non-stick spray the first time. Regardless, it seemed to come out of the oven just fine. And what I'm doing right now is just banging it on the table to let air bubbles come up to the surface. Air bubbles prevent it from looking nice when it comes out of the oven. Or at the very least, it leaves your cake about to crack and unstable in its soft structure. When you bang it like that, it brings up the air bubbles and prevents it from falling apart. Because when you have air pockets building in the oven and you don't let them out, or at least you don't try to let them out beforehand, it will cause your cake to potentially crumble. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, never mind. I think I left a few things in here on accident. Whatever. Don't really care that much. Dude, you forgot to bang it on the tray or on the table. I really should have paid attention to that. I don't know actually if I did it or not. I hope I did. Oh, and then here I'm placing 6 chopped peanut. I'm basically placing pieces of peanut butter cups in the cakes. Essentially, I chopped up 6. No. I think I chopped up 4. I'm not sure. I'm trying to do the math. Yeah, 4. I chopped up 4 of the Reese's. And placed them inside the cake, which was something I never did with this cake recipe before. I'm literally combining an experimental recipe with a recipe I've already done. So I guess I lied. I have already created one recipe, and the peanut butter stuff is the only thing. No, was the only thing that was experimental. And then here I'm telling you how to preheat your oven. And then I'm filming me putting it in like the online bakers do. And then you put it in for that time, and they should come out fine. And I kind of cheated here because of logic. I'll let you figure out what I mean by that. Put a toothpick in away from the peanut butter cups, but it comes out clean. You know what I mean by that is, if no batter comes out, but only a little grease comes out from poking it all the way in the center, then it should be fine. Both were done, as you can clearly tell from the surface. And then I plopped these into this thing. And then I flipped it over. And also you want your cake layers to be as thin as this. And then I am plopping the peanut butter stuff on top, using it as sort of a frosting. I know for sure that there was not enough to put frosting on the sides. I was trying to make it more of a cheesecake anyway, so I didn't really want it on the sides. I'm glad I didn't put there on the sides. I'm glad there was only enough for the top, or for in between layers. And then just spread it out like around here. One thing I forgot to mention, I chopped up 6 peanut butter cups and incorporated that into the peanut butter batter, or at least the cheesecake, the peanut butter cheesecake. The cheesecake batter. Yeah. I can hear myself breathing. It's really hard to ignore. Oh dear, can you please stop? And then I put this second layer on top. And then I put the rest of the cheesecake on top. Waiting for you to get it all on there. It's taking forever. Taking a really, really long time. Also, if you guys were expecting more of a cheery voiceover, I'm really sorry. I was like, this video took more energy than I thought it would. So I'm really sorry that I'm not as happy or perky as I usually am in other videos. I just, I kind of feel tired just watching this as well, because it's literally taking me days. I mean, I started on a Wednesday, I think. Not sure. No, a Thursday. I was hoping to be able to finish it by then and post it. How little did I know then? And then it took me so long last night to edit all of this. Oh, and by the way, what I'm doing right here is just scraping the edges with, I think this is an offset spatula, to give it a smoother and more structured look to the sides. Even just by looking down inside it, you can tell that it looks more vertical than usual. When you scrape it like that, that's what it will look like. So I'm essentially doing that to make sure it not only tastes good, but also looks very presentable. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell if you want more videos, more ASMR videos, normal ASMR videos. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found this tutorial helpful, if you found it tingly as well. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.